Hey guys, Shiddenkai here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Forces of Valor 1x700 scale model of the Tirpitz. Now, this review is going to be pretty short because there really isn't a whole bunch of history to go over with this ship, which is a shame because she was actually the largest European battleship ever made. She weighed in at roughly 53,000 tons, which was 2,000 tons larger than the Bismarck. And she was a really impressive battleship, but because her sister ship, the Bismarck, was sunk in such a dramatic fashion, and really only a short while after being launched, I think this scared the German Admiralty into using this ship for daring missions, so it spent a good majority of its life hidden away in the fjords of Norway. Just the same, here's going to be a quick rundown on the history of the Tirpitz. And this ship was introduced in 1941. It was ever so slightly larger than the Bismarck and ever so slightly more modern, slightly more advanced radar, and had slightly more advanced anti-aircraft mounts. Now, this ship spent some time hunting different convoys, particularly British convoys, but by and large it was mostly unsuccessful in those attempts. Still, many attempts were made to sink the Tirpitz, and at least on one occasion the Tirpitz managed to shoot down 2 or 3 different attacking aircraft. So at least she had that to her record. The only time she really fired her big 15-inch guns was when she bombarded this out-of-the-way island that's pretty much in the Arctic Circle called Spitsbergen or something like that. And the only thing she really bombarded was a weather station and a refueling base, and obviously they didn't really have much defense against something like this. So that's pretty much her only combat record to speak of. Otherwise, she was sunk in November in 1944 by a group of Lancaster bombers, and they carried some giant, very, very heavy bombs, the biggest bombs of World War II, short, of course, of the nuclear weapons. And yeah, that's all it took to sink this ship. So, with that being said, let's talk about the model itself. And I absolutely love this model. I think Forces of Valor did such a great job with it. It looks fantastic. I really like the paint scheme on this one. They also have another Tirpitz out with a different paint scheme, but I do not have that, so I can't really show it off. But all I know is I really like this one. I was lucky enough to get a model that does not have any workmanship issues, so that is a relief and also very cool. Also, the guns, especially the secondary guns, can be maneuvered around, so you can help, or this will help you set the ship up in different poses. So if you want to move the main guns around, then you can do so. And I think that is pretty cool. Otherwise, like all the Forces of Valor ships, the bottom of the hull is going to be die cast while the rest of it's going to be plastic. And no review would be complete without at least comparing it to the Bismarck. Now, this Bismarck, as I think I complained about in another video, does have severe workmanship issues. But the one thing that I'm really impressed with is the fact that Forces of Valor chose to make the Tirpitz distinctly different from the Bismarck. I mean, to be honest with you guys, Forces of Valor could have easily just repainted this model right here and just called it the Tirpitz. But they didn't take the easy way out. Instead, they used, well, a Tirpitz model. So you can see some of the differences here and here. And you can just tell when you take a closer look at these two models, you're going to be able to actually see the differences between them. And I actually really, really, really appreciate the attention to detail on Forces of Valor's part. They could have taken the easier, cheaper way out, but they didn't. And what they ended up with was a great, accurate model. So, what can I say, guys? If you still have the ability to bring one of these home, and if you love ships, especially German warships, do it. It's definitely going to be worth the cash, especially if you can get a good deal on them. So, that's my take on it. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, peace.